Here are solutions to quiz 4 for Math 111. We're given a function and asked all sorts of stuff about it. So in part 1 it says estimate f of 1. So what f of 1 is the height when our x value equals 1. So it's the height corresponding with this point right here. So what I would say is that f of 1 is approximately 2? The height when x equals 1 is about 2. Okay, estimate any/all values of x such that f of x equals -1. What that is saying is what can you put into this machine and make -1 come out? The thing coming out of the machine is the height here. So another way of thinking about it is it's all the x values that have this height that I just drew in green. So we got 1 over here somewhere. Got 1 somewhere in there. And it looks like we got a third one somewhere in here. So x is equal to -2, a little bit less than -2, so I don't know, maybe -2.2. Here's -1. I don't know, -1.5, -1.4 maybe, something like that. And between 1 and 2, that looks pretty close to the middle, maybe a little closer to 2, so maybe we'll call it 1.6, approximately. Anything close to these are fine. Maybe I should write that. Anything close is fine. That's for up here and for down here. Express in interval notation the domain of f. Okay. The domain of a function is all of the possible inputs, all of the possible x values. So we can kind of think about it as the shadow down onto the x-axis here, which looks like, in this case, everything from -3 up to 2. And we want to include both of those endpoints because we got closed circles. So I would say the domain goes from -3 all the way up to +2. Okay, express the range. Sure, I can do that. Looks like the lowest value is somewhere down here, maybe -3 or right about there, a little bit below maybe. And then it goes all the way up here till right around 4. So I don't know, range. If you're really picky here, you might say -3.1. I'm just going to say -3 up to 4, and same thing. Whoops, up to 4 and including 4. And again, anything close is fine for these guys too. Does f of 2 equal 1? Why or why not? It does not. F of 2 equals, it looks like, about -3. No. If it did, the point input 2, output 1 would be on the graph. Would be on the graph. Other explanations are fine, but the answer should clearly be no. F of 2 is not 1. F of 2 is -3-ish. Estimate the intervals on which this function is increasing. So it looks like it's increasing from, let's see, what colors have I not used yet? Black, I guess. All right. It's increasing from here up to here. Kind of increasing all throughout here. And if you're really picky, it looks like it's increasing a little bit right at the start here. Can't see it anymore because I scribbled over it. Kind of up between there too. So what I would say is it's increasing from -3 up to, I don't know, -2.9 or something like that. And again, from this value, which, I don't know, -1.6-ish. all the way up until our x value here, which is just barely bigger than 1. Maybe I'll call it 0.1. But I better emphasize that these answers may vary too. Okay, and where's it decreasing? Well, it's decreasing where it's not increasing. It's decreasing from there to there and there to there. So what I can do is say, all right, I said it was increasing up to negative 2.9. So from negative 2.9 all the way up to negative 1.6, it's got to be decreasing. And then again from 0.1 all the way to the end of my domain, which is 2. A note, I put all of these in parentheses. Maybe I'll write this over here. It's okay if you put brackets. But really these should be parentheses because you're not increasing at these points. Maybe I shouldn't write that. I guess it's technically a little bit wrong. Maybe you lose a tiny bit of points. These really do have to be parentheses because you don't want to include negative 2.9 in increasing, because then you'd also be including it in decreasing, and you're saying it's increasing and decreasing at that point. That doesn't really make sense. So I'll make sure to tell you in class that they should definitely be parentheses. But I guess that's it. I guess that's the end of this quiz.